Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Tuesday the 5th of August. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Hamilton City Council has signed off a proposal to change to a capital value rating system, which will go out for public feedback from the 8th of August. Council's current rating system, based on land value, determines how much each property owner pays based on the value of their land. A change to a capital value system would mean rates are determined by the value of the land plus what is on the land, e.g. a house or a building. As part of the proposal, a change to capital value would be phased in over 10 years. Every Hamilton ratepayer will be receiving personalised information about how a change would affect them, and anyone can have their say on the proposal between the 8th of August and the 8th of September. Information will also be available online where ratepayers can use the rates calculator to see how a change would affect them. A Bay of Plenty incubator is one of only 3 proposals accepted nationwide by Callaghan Innovation. The incubators are for potentially high-growth, early-stage technology-focused companies. Timothy Allen, who is part of the consortium who put forward the proposal, says the potential this brings for the Bay is huge.
I think they've sort of increasingly see the Bay of Plenty as an area that's growing and that has a very collaborative approach to the way of doing things. And you've got sort of, I suppose it's a collection of pieces. I mean, you've got everything from the Young Innovator Awards and Forum through to the Enterprise Angels and what they're doing in terms of the creation of a whole investment community designed to fund those next stage business opportunities. And so you can sort of start to see the creation of an environment where people seem more willing to talk to each other, more willing to work together, and I think that they've identified that and said, well, hey, look, we really like the way you guys are doing stuff. And then, you know, even things like the fact TEDA is here, Newman Park is here, Wharf 42 is sort of starting through there. So there's a lot of different aspects that are all coming together to kind of form that overall picture.
Construction of a new $38,000 fence along one of Memorial Park's boundaries is prompting questions of more frugal City Council spending from one nearby resident. Work on replacing the existing red fence from the 11th Ave intersection towards 7th Ave began about 4 weeks ago. Tauranga City Council's communications manager, Frank Begley, says the current fence needs to be replaced because it's rusting and deteriorating. The cost of replacing the fence is $38,000. He says this is necessary as there's a steep drop down to Memorial Park and a new structure will protect pedestrians. But Jean Craven questions the need for a new fence, saying she'd prefer to see money allocated to more pressing issues in the city. A Tauranga radio station is calling on residents to donate meat to a food collection which will see families torn apart by domestic violence enjoy a classic Kiwi meal, the Sunday roast. The annual Moana FM food collection, run on behalf of Tauranga Women's Refuge, is calling on people to give generously so families can come together to share food, a laugh and most importantly love. Tauranga Women's Refuge manager Angela Warren-Clark says the meat the non-profit organisation purchases for their families, like sausages and mince, is the most expensive part of the bill. There is no expiry date for donations and people are welcome to drop off frozen roast to the station at any time. Collections can also be arranged by contacting the station. Now for our region's marine forecast. West Coast, Raglan, southwest 25 knots, easing late Wednesday to 15 knots. Your high tide in Raglan is 5:51 in the evening. East Coast, Bay of Plenty, southwest 20 knots, fine spells, a few afternoon showers. Your high tide is at 2:41 p.m. Just ahead, the YAA Awards. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. 55 finalists have been announced in the 2014 Western Bay of Plenty Young Innovator Awards. Finalists were selected from over 100 entries, the majority of which have come from local secondary school students. I went along to Bay Fair to check out some of the entries and make a vote of my own. How many entries did you guys get this year for the YAA?
We had 100 entries from over 170 people, which is really great.
And a lot of them with group entries, and especially from the junior category. Can you tell me about some of the junior ones?
Yeah, there was some really great collaboration projects. There was one that some kids came together and found a way to make a sort of fruit-infused water bottle. There was another one, the one that I think you mentioned earlier, where they have little earbuds in the ear, but it sits outside the ear so that you can still hear if there's traffic and things around. And there was another one where it actually helps teachers regulate sound in a classroom. If it gets too noisy, they get an alert and helps them sort of regulate what they're doing, which is really great.
I wonder if the juniors got that from their own personal experience.
Probably.
So what are some of the other entries that stand out?
Well, there's been a lot of actually food-based entries, which I love. One that helps hold all your taco ingredients into the shell. One that helps bakers that are hopeless like me figure out when their baking is done by the moisture in the food. And there's all kinds of different things. There's iPhone apps, one that helps detect riptides in the water. There's a lot of electronic kind of stuff like a USB port adapter and plug adapters and just all kinds of things. It's really great.
There's so many entries. Do you categorise them?
They're only categorized by their age groups. So there's junior secondary schools, there's senior secondary school, and then we opened it up last year to under 40s categories so that more young professionals can get in and it's not just limited to schools, which actually has brought in a few teacher entries as well.
So many entries, so many different categories. How is it going to be judged?
Well, there's 4 different judges this year, and they based on 5 criteria, and so that's innovation, creativity, sustainability, and then research and communication, which really comes out through their entry, how they've presented it and things like that.
Who makes up the judging panel?
So like I said, there's 4 judges this year. There's John Gustakis, who's a sustainability expert from Australia. Siobhan Bilton founded Social Code, which is an online community for healthcare. Trent Mankelo founded a user experience company called Optimal Experience, and he's been really successful with that, just sold it off. And Stuart Colley is a textiles scientist down at Egg Research, and has done some really cool stuff with wool development, which is really great. So they're all really broad range of people and really high quality experts in their fields.
What are they looking for?
Well, like I said, those 5 criteria. So there's creativity that really comes out, the research and communication behind their project, the innovation of the idea itself and the creativity, and if it's sustainable and how that comes through as well.
You say the innovation of the creation.
Yeah.
What makes an innovation?
An innovative product will be one, or service, will be one that really breaks through and solves a problem for people. I think Steve Jobs said something that makes a dent in the universe, something that really has impact.
Make sure you head along to Bay Fair and vote in the People's Choice Award. There is a lot happening around the Bay of Plenty if you're feeling like you need to get out and about this winter. I caught up with the ladies of Creative Tauranga to find out how to connect the dots.
Yes, Hilary, this is a new monthly series that we're running in Creative Tauranga at the moment, and coming up on the 19th of August is Joshua Speedon, and he's actually coming in to teach us how to whitewash and chalk paint furniture. Bit exciting, 4:30 till 6 o'clock on the 19th of August, so I imagine we'll be seeing you here.
And Maria, you guys are showcasing a lot of more local artists in the gift gallery?
Yes, we've got new local artists coming into our gift gallery at Creative Tauranga. We've got a wonderful new skincare range, organic skincare range by a local mum. It's called Volish, so we're really excited about that. And also some lovely traditional weaving by local artist Bernie Ross.
Tracy, Andrew Lloyd Webber's coming to town.
Yes, he is on the 16th of August. Well, Andrew Lloyd Webber's not coming to town, but In Accord Chorus, gorgeous group of ladies, local ladies that sing, and featured in Tarnish Fox and Divas show last year actually, are bringing the songs of Andrew Lloyd Webber to Bay Court on August the 16th. So I'm sure that's going to be a popular show for many people.
Maria, what's on in the gallery this month?
We have our wonderful collectively independent exhibition, local artists and friends of Creative Tauranga. So yeah, come on in and have a little look around. It's a great range of textures and techniques.
And there ain't no business like show business?
There isn't, Hillary, you should know about this. So Tauranga Musical Theatre always put on stunning productions, and they have their latest show coming up later this year, Show Business. Tickets are on sale now. It's playing in September, and we at Creative Tauranga have also become a ticket booth for iTicket, as well as Event Finder shows and events around town. So Show Business is with iTicket, so if you're not savvy with hopping online and getting your ticket, you can pop in and see the lovely team at Creative Tauranga and we can help you with your tickets.
And Maria, tell us about Creative Beat. How can we get it this month?
Creative Beat, well, the best thing to do is to become Friends of Creative Tauranga, a membership. For an individual, that's $40 for a year membership, and you get Creative Beat sent to you each month, which is a wonderful way to do it. Otherwise, you can call into our gallery here and we have copies, or you can go online to our Creative Tauranga website, www.creativetauranga.org.nz.
Tracy, who features on the front cover this month?
This month's magazine for August is the lovely Rochelle Duffy and her husband Chris. They of course founded the Little Big Markets that have been running for about 5 years now and very successful, and they have a couple of new projects coming up, Dinner in the Domain later this year at Papamoa, and a couple of other exciting little ventures that they're getting away with. So there's a gorgeous feature story on Little Big Markets and their upcoming events in Creative Beat, and you can also pick that up on our Facebook page as well. It's now available in a flip book, so really easy to read online.
And of course you can visit creativetauranga.org.nz to find out more about any of these events. Coming up next, Tauranga City Council CEO Gary Poole chats to me about the staffing restructure. Welcome back to Central News. Tauranga City Council staff are facing a major restructure, with 52 jobs to be disestablished and 54 new ones to be created. I spoke with CEO Gary Poole about what the restructure will involve.
A discussion with our people about how this organisation can serve its community more effectively. That discussion, the start of it took place about 3 weeks ago. I went through with all of our people and outlined the changes that we propose, the principles that we had in play to drive those changes, the opportunities people had to input to the change process. We're now working through that change process. We've finalised what the proposal looks like, having taken on board the feedback from our people. Next week, I'm planning to meet with all our people again to say, work through the process, heard what you had to say, taken it on board, consider it, here's what the final proposal looks like, and we've already started, where appropriate, the implementation of those changes, and our plan is to have that resolved and completed by the end of August.
How is the current structure not consistent with the operating principles of the council then?
Well, the current structure, if we go back a little bit, the current structure was inherited by myself and the executive leadership team in February of last year. When I say inherited it by myself, I was a new chief executive to this organisation in April. I recruited a new executive leadership team. We took the view at the time that the organisation had been through a lot of change. We detected that there was, if you like, an element of change fatigue. And so we said to our people, we won't have any change for the next little while, and that was about 12 months. So we could settle down and people could focus on doing their job and delivering to their customers and to the public. During that period of time, we looked at how we were operating, and we determined that we could do some things better. Better being in terms of more effective, more efficient and more customer focused. Went away and put together our thoughts in that area and then shared them, as I said, last month with our people. And they're things like we had a lot of our activity in one group, and that activity was our infrastructure. which accounts for a massive amount of our spend, our open space management, our recreation facilities, and our parking. And what we've done is we've basically said if we want to ensure that we're excellent in the execution of our work, we need to have our work kind of structured in a way that it's in manageable kind of groups, and this group's too big. So we've taken some work out of there and then charged that group with delivering and executing with excellence the projects they're responsible for. And one of the issues we're dealing with in that context is that our capital expenditure spend has historically, for years, been about between 50 and 60% of our budget. And so what that means is that we've had capital projects that haven't been completed in the budget year, and we're saying now to this group, you've now got the budget, you've got, if you like, projects, you've got the resources to do it, we expect it to be done.
Which areas of the council will be affected?
It's all areas of council and to differing degrees. And so I've outlined what's happening in our infrastructure area. This council, we've got a new council with 7 out of 10 new councillors at the October 2013 election. This council has got a focus on community development. They've established a community development committee, which our council traditionally hasn't had. And so we've responded to that by establishing a community services group. So, and that is basically bringing together a number of our community service functions into one group. So people who are now located in various parts of council will come together in this group with a view to more effectively delivering on community service objectives for the council and the community. So those people will be affected. If we think about our property people, they're affected. We're establishing a group to make sure that some of the projects that are in play at the moment, notably the hotel project, the tertiary precinct project, the marine precinct project, and some of our other assets, property sales and property purchases, that they get focused on. And so our property group's affected. And that kind of issue flows through the organisation, and the restructure touches most places, but in my view, in a positive and proactive way.
How do you make the focus be on the marine precinct and the tertiary campus and those major projects?
By basically getting a shared vision of what this organisation wants our city to achieve. Being really clear about expectations and our operating principles. You've mentioned one in terms of what gets resourced gets done. Another one that we're focusing on is excellence in execution. And those kind of things, by absolutely understanding what's expected of you, how you're supposed to behave, what outcomes you've got to deliver. Good people rise to those challenges and actually deliver stuff. And we've definitely got some good people in our organisation that, with clarity of expectation, will deliver for their community.
The second half of my interview with Gary Poole will be playing later on in this week. Just ahead, the new Bay Fair to Bay Park link. Welcome back. There has been a lot of talk lately around illegal traffic turning right from the Girvan Road roundabout into Monganui Road, and it has been causing a few minor accidents. But the roundabout is about to get a major overhaul, as well as the Bay Park intersection. I spoke with New Zealand Transport Agency to find out what the preferred option is and what it will comprise of.
So the option that we've identified, the preferred option, is option 3A. It's a series of flyovers. So at the Bay Fair roundabout, that would be a flyover going over the top, and the roundabout itself would be replaced with traffic signals. At the Tamonga intersection, again, the roundabout there would be removed, and State Highway 29 would be elevated over both the existing railway line, and State Highway 2, and would be served with on and off ramps. And to do the construction, we'll be relocating the railway to the back of Owens Place Retail Park.
What were some of the other options and what made this option the winning one?
quite a long investigation over 3.5 years now, so we've looked at various options, different flyover configurations, different ground level like traffic signals, signalised roundabout solutions. Option 3A we found is just the best at providing a long-term, long-lasting solution. So we don't want to come back in 10 or 15 years and disturb traffic again. We want to put in the right solution, and this should work for the next 40 plus years. It will also provide complete separation from the railway, so the state highway will be completely independent of rail movements, which are also expected to increase going into the future.
There is going to have to be some major work done around the railway line?
Yeah, that's right. In order to provide space to do the road widening, we will have to relocate about 2 kilometres of railway which currently sits alongside the Maunganui Road. So it will be moved, like I said, to the existing corridor that's already designated for railway, like I say, about 2 kilometres behind Owens Place Retail Park, and it will go between the golf course and the driving range and connect into the existing railway line there.
And the golfers, are they aware that the railway line will be going through their golf course?
Yes, because the corridor has been designated since I think the early 1980s, to the golf course's credit, they've actually designed the course around the existing designation, so the impact on the course itself is very minimal. I think it's the 13th hole, one of the tees will have to be relocated, but other than that I think the impact is very minimal. So yeah, we've been working in partnership with them to find the best solution.
Will any property have to be purchased under the Public Works Act?
There'll be there will be 11 residential properties on Maunganui Road that will need to be acquired. Also, the existing corridor owned by KiwiRail will also have to be obtained.
You can head to nzta.gov.nz/B2B to find out more. Now for the weather for Wednesday. Hamilton, showers developing, clearing in the afternoon though with southwesterlies 15 and 3. The rest of the Waikato, showers spreading from the west during the morning, clearing during the afternoon, southwesterlies for most parts of the Waikato as well. Paeroa, your expected high is 15 and an overnight low of 5. Matamata 14 and 5. Te Awamutu 15 and 3. And Tokoroa, you can expect a high of 13 and an overnight low of 4. Tauranga mainly fine with a chance of an early afternoon shower and westerlies. 16 is your expected high and 6 your expected overnight low. The rest of the Bay of Plenty mainly fine, brief showers spreading from the west in the early afternoon and westerlies. Te Puke 14 and 6. That is the news today. Like us on Facebook or email us at news@tvcentral.co.nz and let us know if there is something happening in your community. Join me again tomorrow night for more stories from the Bay of Plenty and the Waikato. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.